Live. I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer. At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 6 a.m. on Saturday in Germany. We're broadcasting live from Akron, Ohio.
In Thousand Oaks, California. Thanks for joining us. Tonight's topic is Everyday Spacer Review 2022. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. Like last year, tonight we'll talk about the everyday spacers who flew in space in 2022. There are a couple of sites that talk about who is in space right now that Pam found. And here they are.
Oh, yeah, one I just actually found a day or two ago. It's really cool.
Yeah, this says there are currently 10 people in space, and this talks about the ISS. And the various...
Isn't that beautiful? They're big pictures of the astronauts, and
that way, yeah, you can see who they are, and you can see where they're from. Here, they have the nationality flags for them. So, and then we've got the Tygon astronauts, showing again which nationality they are. Not that that's a surprise. But they also show their their most current Twitter feed. So
that's really beautiful. Way cool.
Yeah. And interesting, along the side here, they show you how far down the page you are. I just noticed that. Also, site that Pam's known about for a while. How many people are in space? Big
Very
number
simple.
there. Yep.
Yeah.
And they list people and how long they were in space. So, this is a very simple website. So and there's an app, but this just basically tells you the information. So how many people are in space right now.com. So,
yeah. And this kind of fits with the everyday spacer idea that you can go and look at this yourself. And I'm kind of curious now, did anyone out there see if they listed the everyday spacer type folks when they went up? And I intend to watch for that in 2023. There were 4 everyday spacer flights in 2022. So we're counting like 21, 22 people who were non-astronaut, cosmonaut, taikonaut individuals who went into orbit or had a suborbital flight this past year. We're saying that because while Michael Lopez Alegria was retired at the time, he was an astronaut who worked for NASA, and he actually spent 215 days on board the International Space Station from September 18th, 2006 to April 21st, 2007. So we're talking 21, 22 everyday spacers who took a trip off-world in 2022.
And in looking for looking up the information, I found this site here, Parabolic Arc. It talks about everyone who was in space for the first 8 months. And while I think that there were flights after in the fourth quarter, none of them were everyday spacer types. So this basically showed us everything that we needed to know for this time. Oh, and there it goes. So first thing that they list once it shows up is are the ISS flights. And they list them out, the date, the vehicle that they used, and what the purpose of the mission was. And if you notice, like ISS crew versus ISS crew return. So you'll see people on here twice. That's because they had to come down too. And this is the Axiom flight with the with the everyday spacers that went up and their return mission. So they weren't up that long compared to everyone else who's been up on the ISS. Um, and really a lot of lag with us doing this video here. And they do talk about there's a lot of good stuff on this page. I'm not going to talk about all of it because it's not really talking about everyday spacers, except for right there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah. And, they talk about
Great
the Starliner
find.
test flights, resupply missions, Tygon flights. And again, they list all of the Tygon flights.
Mm-hmm.
And then they talk about New Shepard.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to update that. That'd be really cool to have, the full year.
Yeah. They might not do it until a little bit into January, though.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we got the information, and we'll go into this more detail later on. But these are the New Shepard flights for 2022. And they talk about a little bit more about each of the flights. So this is a good resource for that.
Yeah, good overview.
Yeah. And
cool.
So let's get back to me. And now we're going to start off with the Blue Origin flights, even though the Axiom flight kind of was the second flight, but we'll just do with the Blue Origin flights first. The first one of this year was NS-20, and NS stands for New Shepard, named after Alan Shepard. And the first flight was March 31st, 2022. The booster was the NS 4.6, and I think they just increment the point number every time they refurb that booster, because I think they're reusing the same booster. And the capsule.
And you had a note there too. You had a note there too. It says each launch carried 6 passengers.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
To a suborbital. Okay, it was above there. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. RSS First Step, was the capsule, and again, that's the same capsule that they are using in all of these right now. The fourth crewed New Shepard flight, and the crew of 6 includes Marty Allen, an angel investor and former CEO of Party America. Sharon and Mark Hagel, the first married couple to fly in space together since 1992. And I think they were the first married couple to fly in space in 1992, if I'm correct.
Oh, no, it was these astronauts, and they weren't supposed to get married, but they did it like right before.
Okay.
That's like hell of a honeymoon on NASA.
Wonder if they got the 3 Dolphin Club there.
Most likely.
Jim Kitchen, a teacher and entrepreneur from North Carolina. George Neild, a former Federal Aviation Administration official who is involved in regulating commercial space flight. Yeah, I wonder how Blue Origin got their launch license. Just saying, folks. And Gary Lay, substituting for someone who couldn't make it. He's the chief architect of the New Shepard suborbital flight spaceship. My guess is that they just said, oops, someone can't make it. We need 6. You. And that's how he went up.
Hey, employee of the month. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the very next one from Blue Origin was NS-21. Again, New Shepard is the NS part. That launched on June the 4th. And we have information about NS 4.7. So again, that booster got reused, also the capsule. This is the 5th crewed New Shepard flight. And this crew of 6 included Evan Dick, who's actually the first person to take a second flight on Blue Origin's New Shepard suborbital spaceship. He was one of the crew members for last December's NS-19 mission and flew alongside the daughter of pioneering Mercury astronaut Alan Shepard. Katia Echazarreta, a Mexican-American electrical engineer, science communicator, and civilian astronaut. She worked at NASA first as an intern during her university undergraduate career, then later as a test lead for the Europa Clipper ground support equipment group. And she has contributed to a total of 5 NASA missions. She's actually at JPL. Hamish Harding, a UAE-based British businessman, aviator, explorer, and space tourist. He is the founder of Action Group and chairman of Action Aviation, an international aircraft brokerage company with headquarters in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Victor Correa España, the second Brazilian to fly in space and the first cryptonaut. Is that a real thing? Anyway,
Well, I think his flight was funded by a cryptocurrency group. I think that's what that means.
Oh, I see.
About.
All right. Fair enough. Jason Robinson was the founder of a commercial real estate company called JJM Investments and a co-founder of Dream Variation. He was a survivor contestant, the Survivor Show. He was also involved in diving, water polo, and climbing the tallest waterfall in the world. Last to round it out, Victor Vescovo, founder of Insight Equity, a private equity investment firm.
And the last New Shepard flight, NS-22, flew on August 4th, 2022. And it used the NS 4.8 booster, which, again, I think just a reverb, which is good. They're reusing the booster. And the same crew capsule, the RSS First Step. This is the 6th New Shepard flight. Their crew of 6 included Kobe Cotton, part of Dude Perfect, an American sports and comedy group headquartered in Frisco, Texas. Okay.
I never heard of that. Did you?
No, not until this. We were prepping for the show.
Right.
Mario Ferreira became the first person from Portugal to fly in space. Vanessa O'Brien became the first woman to reach the extremes on land. She climbed Mount Everest. The sea took a vehicle down to the Challenger Deep. And air. She passed the Kármán line.
Isn't that Van Kármán line?
No. The Kármán line is the 100 kilometer, or wherever they put it, and different countries had different values for that line, but it's where you're in space. The Van Allen belts are what you're thinking of.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Completing the Explorer's Extreme Trifecta, a Guinness World Record.
Way cool.
Which it became the Explorer's Extreme Trifecta once someone actually did it, because I don't think it was a thing until someone did that. And Clint Kelly III managed research and technology programs focused primarily on computer science and robotics while in government and in industry. In 1984, he started the Autonomous Land Vehicle Project while at DARPA, contributing to the development of the technology used in driverless cars. And I remember those DARPA projects. They were...
Yeah, the Delta Clipper was a DARPA project.
Yeah, but the driverless cars, I mean, the first task was to get 100 feet in a straight line.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Many failed it.
I
computers back then. Yeah, computers back then were not what they are today.
Yeah.
Sarah Sabri became the first person from Egypt to fly in space, and Steve Young, an India Atlantic resident. I guess that's a city in Florida, and Ugali restaurateur. He left his Space Coast home and traveled roughly 1,600 miles to Texas to fly aboard the Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. So, with all of the launches out of Kennedy, right next to him, he flew across the country and flew out of there.
Yeah. So then we'll switch providers and talk about the April 8th launch of a Falcon 9 Crew Dragon. And they took Axiom Mission 1 in this case. So they provided to a whole nother company. And they took this crew to the International Space Station. We're talking about Michael Lopez Alegria, a retired astronaut, also known as a commercial astronaut now, Larry Connor, an American real estate investor, Mark Pathy, a Canadian businessman, and Etan Stibbe, former fighter pilot from Israel. And Jeff has some good pages about this.
Yeah, here, let's just show this. This is the Axiom mission. This is the wiki page for the Axiom mission. And this, can't scroll that. Okay. And this basically talks a lot about the Axiom mission, gives a lot of good details about it. So just if you want to learn more about it, here it is. Just some good stuff there. Also, where we learned about, because we'd been counting 3 civilian astronauts on the launch to ISS, but they kind of, and NBC talked about 4 civilian astronauts. So we had to dig into that and find out that that Michael was a retired astronaut. So he's kind of an astronaut, but wasn't right now. So kind of,
he straddles both worlds of being, this government astronaut and now a business commercial astronaut.
Yeah. And so that's why we're kind of saying 21 to 22 astronauts, because Pam didn't want to say 21 and a half. But so he's sort of an everyday spacer now, I guess, but he was an astronaut. So 21 or 22.
Right. Which is comparable to last year, because there was last 22. Year 21? 22?
I thought there were 22, yeah.
I really love that. I was thinking, it's possibly not as many this year, but it absolutely was very parallel.
Yeah, although we're going to have to give this one an asterisk, like they do in sports statistics, where, if something has some controversy behind it, they put an asterisk by it, and none of the sports guys like to see an asterisk by their name.
I didn't know that. I never heard of that. Yeah. Not really into sports.
Neither am I, but I'm around a lot of people who are. So
got it. Okay, so I'm going to offer this free list of annual meteor showers. Visit meteorshowerchart.com. Fill in the form, press the button to get your chart today.
Yep, there it is. And
thanks,
let me find the banner, because it got lost in the various shows that we've been doing. It's somewhere in here. There it is. There it is. Meteorshowerchart.com. Okay, there.
Awesome.
Some stellar events this week. December 30th through January 6th. Sorry, folks. January 3rd, Mars and the Moon are in conjunction. The night of January 3rd, 4th, the quadranted meteor shower peaks after midnight. It actually is showing from December 27th through January 10th. And the best time to see it is after midnight. It appears to come from the Draco in the north. The peak rate is 25 to 100 meteors per hour. So that's
respectable.
Averaging about 1 per minute. So that's pretty good. The source is 2003 EH1. But the moon is going to be 11 to 12 days old, waxing gibbous. So it's going to be the moon's going to be pretty bright, so it might be hard to see.
Yeah, the full moon's on January 6th. Might be kind of rough.
Yeah. January 4th, weekly space hangout with Dr. Eddie Schweitzerman discusses nitrous oxide as a biosignature. I guess we have laughing aliens. January 6th is a Friday night show, something special to kick off the new year. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel. And it's a full wolf moon.
So I did some digging. We go into other events and activities at this point. I did some digging into these competitions from the Society for Science. And yeah, they've got winners from 2022 Broadcam Masters. And Regeneron is actually closed right now. They don't have any of the 2023 competitions announced yet. But I did see like a chart from the previous year. So you want to start looking for those, I think, in June. They do need volunteers and judges, though. You can sign up to receive updates, and you can still make a donation. That is going to be for one more day. The 4 competitions from this are the Science Talent Search. Here it is. Start watching for the next round. The last one was June 2022. The International Science and Engineering Fair, ISEF for short. That's the Regeneron's ISEF for 2023. The world's largest pre-college STEM competition will take place from May 13th through 19th in Dallas, Texas. Broadcom Masters, that's opening in February, I think. Affiliated Fair Network with nearly, and I'm kind of quoting here, with nearly 400 affiliate fairs around the globe. The Affiliated Fair Network plays a critical role in facilitating the pursuit of STEM in young scientists, engineers, and inventors. And I think the fair is where you kind of kick off this whole competition. Let's see. Oh, I actually found a 5th item there. Research at home. When the world closed up, they responded. And there's actually some good websites in there, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we prepared this part very much, but yeah, if you want to copy paste those.
We'll get those into the comments.
Cool. Great. All right. So this matching gift offer is through tomorrow. It's one more day. And then I did some digging to find the affiliated fair, science fair, and there's a page for that too. You want to scroll down the form, and the USA and 70 other countries are represented on this page. I have another quote here. Most science fairs in the U.S. and U.S. territories are held from January through March. Fairs outside the U.S. may take place at other times of the year. Students who participate in these fairs must observe the international rules for pre-college science research. So this is a really good time to start looking and thinking about the science fairs in the United States for sure.
Yep. And
I actually did look. Cool. Yeah, and I did some looking because I'm in Ohio. There's 5, and they all have deadlines in February for a science fair in March. So maybe some of them could use help too. All right, so we love to tell you about Space Prize. They have a speaker series, and there's a YouTube link for that.
Yep, and I will.
Jeff doesn't mind sharing.
Yep,
Awesome.
find that one too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So the 5th round of Nominate a Student with Perseverance opened November 21st. It closes January 3rd. They actually shifted that date. The awards are going to be announced January 24th, 2023. And this is for 6th through 8th grade students in the United States. That either public, private, or homeschooled children are eligible. And there's some pretty cool awards with that one. You know, Mark Wagner was our guest a few weeks ago. He mentioned the Space Education Symposium, the one that you went to, Jeff, is possibly going to be happening again in April or May. I went and looked at their page. It still said November 12th. But it's interesting how you put in search terms and you find some other cool things. The Space Foundation Space Symposium is going to be April 17th through 20th. That's going to be at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Okay. And I put.
Thanks so much for your help, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, being here, I'm a little bit hampered, but Jeff's been great to help.
Yeah. So if you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live.
Join us again next Friday, January 6th. I'll be visiting Dawn Jenkins, a longtime friend. She actually helped me get involved with astronomy back in the early 90s. I'll be there chatting with her and helping her kick off a show of her own. It should be kind of casual, and we'll talk about what she's done and what she would like to do. So stay tuned. I'm looking forward to this myself.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up and see you guys next week when we talk with Don Jenkins. Bye bye, folks.
Have a great week, folks. Bye bye.